Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be diving in again.
Today we're plunging into a topic that's just, well, it's everywhere, isn't it? Dominating headlines, stirring up both incredible excitement and, let's be honest, a fair bit of anxiety. Artificial intelligence.
AI, yeah. Hard to avoid.
It feels like every single day brings a new breakthrough or, a new prediction, or maybe just a fresh question about AI's rapidly expanding role in our future.
It's moving so fast.
Exactly. So are we riding this amazing wave of unprecedented transformative innovation, or are we perhaps, as some people are suggesting, kind of caught in an AI psychosis?
AI psychosis. That's a strong term.
It is, right? Like a fever state where expectations might be soaring far, far beyond what's actually grounded reality.
It's a truly critical moment. And that phrase, AI psychosis, it really cuts right to the core of the whole debate, doesn't it?
It does.
The conversation around AI is so often, bifurcated, split in two. On one side, you've got these almost utopian visions of boundless progress.
Right, solving all the world's problems.
And then on the other, these really stark dystopian warnings about, the end of humanity or massive job losses.
Yeah, the extremes.
Our mission today, really, is to try and cut through that noise, to look critically, rigorously at the evidence our sources are giving us. We're asking, are our expectations actually soaring beyond what current AI can truly deliver right now?
What's real versus hype?
Precisely.
Okay.
What are the true measurable potentials of AI and robotics right now? And crucially, what happens if this AI boom, much like, past tech phenomena we've all witnessed, turns out to be more of a speculative bubble than a solid, enduring bedrock for the future?
Like the .com bubble.
That's the comparison many are making, yeah.
Exactly that. And we've gathered some truly fascinating source material for you today to help us kind of dissect these questions.
Good stuff, I hope.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about everything from really in-depth reports on securing advanced large language model systems, LLMs,
Security angle is huge.
To deep dives into the, frankly, terrifying new landscape of hybrid threats involving drones.
That's a whole other level of concern.
All the way to analyses of enterprise AI strategy and, of course, that big overarching AI bubble question. We're going to unpack all of it.
Sounds like a plan.
Exploring AI's profound impact on the global economy, its evolving role in modern warfare, and the specific challenges and maybe vulnerabilities faced by different global ecosystems, including right here in Europe and, very specifically, Germany.
And as we navigate these complex waters, we'll be scrutinizing if AI is genuinely on a path to becoming as ubiquitous, as fundamentally integrated into our lives as, say, the internet became after the .com bubble burst.
That's the key comparison, isn't it? Did the internet survive the crash? Yes. Will AI?
We need to identify who truly stands to gain from this revolution, and perhaps more importantly, who faces significant risks, particularly if the current, soaring AI valuation trends hit a wall, if there's a market correction.
Which seems plausible, maybe even likely.
Some sources certainly suggest so. So let's peel back the layers, get into the source material, and try to get to the bottom of where we truly stand with AI today.
Okay, let's unpack this with that first big question, the one really on everyone's lips, sparking both excitement and, a fair bit of dread. Are we, as a society, expecting too much from AI right now? Is this current wave of enthusiasm maybe more of an AI psychosis, like we said, than a grounded, sustainable reality?
It's a profoundly valid concern, and our sources, they suggest a deeply nuanced picture. It's not black and white.
Never is it?
No. On one hand, you've got influential figures within the AI industry itself, like OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, openly saying that the AI market may well be experiencing bubble-like enthusiasm.
Right, I saw that comment.
He's drawn direct comparisons to the .com boom of the late 1990s, where investor excitement, fueled by the promise of this new tech,
internet magic,
often far exceeded the real profits or the actual demonstrable use cases many companies were delivering at the time.
Right. Pets.com, anyone.
Exactly. We saw countless startups then with sky-high valuations, but often with little to no revenue, let alone actual profit.
Yeah, burning cash like crazy.
The concern now is that we might be seeing a remarkably similar pattern with AI, where the narrative, the story, the hype, it just outpaces the actual net present value.
That's a powerful statement, especially coming from someone like Altman. So central to the whole thing.
Rare.
We're talking about these colossal investments pouring in.
Billions upon billions.
But without the tangible, profitable returns to actually match that investment.
Precisely. And the data our sources provide is, well, it's quite stark, actually.
Oh?
One MIT study frequently cited in our materials found that a staggering 95% of organizations were getting zero return from their generative AI initiatives.
95%. Wow.
Think about that. For all the buzz, all the pilot projects, the significant investments, the vast majority of enterprises are not yet seeing tangible, measurable benefits from their AI work.
That's sobering.
It certainly underscores widespread skepticism about the real-world value versus the often inflated hype.
Right.
Despite billions in U.S. venture capital funding, one estimate suggests 64% of all U.S. venture capital funding going to AI startups in 2025 alone.
64%. That's huge.
The majority of these new AI companies remain unprofitable. Even the big public-facing leaders like OpenAI, while they're projecting billions in revenue, aren't actually showing profits themselves yet.
Okay.
This massive influx of speculative capital into ventures that aren't yet generating real-world profits is a classic, almost textbook indicator of a speculative market.
So if I'm getting this right, the market is basically flooded with speculative money. Just bets on the future?
Largely, yes.
Driving up the valuations of firms that might have, well, weak fundamentals. No clear path to actually making money. No demonstrated return on investment yet.
That's the concern, yeah.
That really does sound like history repeating itself, doesn't
Yeah.
it? We've definitely seen this movie before.
What's truly fascinating here is how closely it parallels those historical bubbles. The rapid pace of investment and hype consistently outstrips meaningful, measurable productivity gains in most industries.
The hype gets ahead of the reality.
That's a key characteristic of a speculative bubble. The excitement about future potential just overshadows the current reality. And public skepticism, as shown by that MIT study, is undeniably rising. Some analysts are indeed openly warning that this bubble may soon burst.
Burst, like a full-on crash.
Potentially leading to a significant shakeout of companies. Those unable to deliver real economic value just won't survive.
Okay, a shakeout. So unprofitable startups fail. Investors lose money, jobs are lost.
Much like what happened after the dot-com bust in the early 2000s. Could be quite painful for some parts of the economy.
But is this just a simple rerun of the dot-com bust? Is there, a counterpoint, a belief that despite the current overvaluation, something genuinely, fundamentally transformative is happening here?
Absolutely. And that's crucial. We shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right?
Right. While many signs undeniably point to bubble-like behavior in valuations, investment patterns, the underlying technology itself isn't universally seen as just a fad.
Okay, so the tech is real, even if the valuations aren't.
A significant number of analysts argue exactly that AI is more than just a speculative boom. They suggest the technology is inherently deeply transformative and will have lasting, profound effects on the economy and society.
The way the internet did.
Precisely the parallel they draw. Even after the dot-com bubble burst huge financial losses, countless companies failed. The internet didn't just disappear, did it?
No, it became everything.
It became utterly ubiquitous, fundamentally reshaped society in ways that were maybe unimaginable even during the height of the bubble.
True.
The argument for AI is similar. The massive infrastructure build-out happening now, the intense competition driving innovation, the continually evolving capabilities, it all means that even if there's a short-term overvaluation and an inevitable shakeout,
which seems likely, the underlying technology will continue advancing. It'll mature and eventually find its true, pervasive value. The internet wasn't a fad, and many believe AI is in that same category of truly foundational technology.
Okay, foundational. Like electricity or the internet?
Potentially, yes. Something that will redefine industries for decades to come.
So the core tech is here to stay. It'll evolve, even if a market correction is perhaps inevitable. That's a pretty significant distinction.
It is.
But what does this potential volatility mean for the practicalities? For implementing AI within organizations today? How are companies actually approaching this? Are they rushing in?
Well, interestingly, it means companies are proceeding with a significant degree of caution, and for very good reason.
Caution, not hype.
The sources reveal a remarkable statistic. Nearly all organizations, a staggering 98%, are willing to forego being the absolute first to use AI if that ensures it's delivered safely and securely.
98%.
Yeah.
That's almost everyone.
It's not just a preference, it's becoming a strategic imperative. This cautious approach highlights a widespread recognition that the inherent risks of AI—
things like bias, errors, security holes.
Exactly. Hallucinations, algorithmic errors, embedded bias, potential cyber threats. This can be devastating to a brand's reputation, lead to severe financial penalties, or even prompt really stringent regulatory responses.
Okay, so the potential downside is huge.
It is. So they're actively striking this delicate balance between driving progress and ensuring security and ethical deployment. It suggests a far more mature, maybe slower path than the early Wild West days of internet adoption.
Right, it wasn't exactly cautious back then.
Not at all. This isn't a headlong rush into unknown territory. It seems to be a more measured, strategic option that prioritizes long-term stability over maybe grabbing those short-term headlines.
And the sheer cost of all this innovation must be a major factor in that caution, right? Especially if the ROI isn't guaranteed.
Indeed. The cost of AI is monumental. It's a critical bottleneck for many.
How much are we talking?
It's not just the initial capital expenditure for developing and training the models. It's also the ongoing operational expenses and the immense hardware costs, particularly for those high-powered GPUs, the graphics processing units.
Which are expensive and hard to get.
Very. To give you a sense of scale, Google's $8 billion in capital expenditure in Q3 2023 was overwhelmingly driven by AI investments. $8 billion in one quarter.
Wow.
And the training costs for individual advanced models, astronomical. OpenAI's GPT-4, for instance, cost an estimated $78 million in compute resources alone.
$78 million just to train it.
And Google's Gemini Ultra, reportedly $191 million.
Just staggering numbers.
And this isn't just a challenge for the tech giants. Companies adopting AI face their own significant costs: data management, continuous model monitoring, ensuring compliance with emerging regulations like the EU AI Act.
Right, compliance isn't free.
Definitely not. Plus, talent acquisition, upskilling your existing workforce for specialized AI roles. These represent significant ongoing investments.
So it's a constant drain on resources.
For many, yes. Medium-sized firms, in particular, our sources say, they cite budgetary constraints as their single biggest obstacle. It creates this squeezed middle.
Squeezed middle.
Yeah. Companies that desperately need AI to stay competitive but find the upfront and ongoing costs almost prohibitive. They're caught between the innovation imperative and the financial reality.
That's a truly immense challenge, especially, like you said, if the return on investment isn't immediately clear or if it's really difficult to quantify. How are organizations even beginning to measure that ROI?
You've hit on a crucial point. It's not straightforward at all.
Seems tricky.
Organizations need to develop robust, quite sophisticated methodologies for measuring ROI that capture not just the obvious efficiency gains, saving time, automating tasks, but also the more elusive new value AI can create.
New value? Like what?
Better decision-making, new product lines, improved customer experience, things that don't always show up immediately on the bottom line.
Okay.
The mindset is shifting. For example, companies like Motorola, they're developing specific frameworks to meticulously track hours saved by generative AI across various internal tasks. That gives them quantifiable efficiency boosts.
Okay, hard numbers.
Similarly, the Swedish fintech company Klarna, they've publicly calculated their generative AI's output as equivalent to an astonishing 700 full-time customer service agents.
700.
That's a direct measurable impact on operational efficiency and customer support.
Impressive.
But the shift is also occurring beyond just cost savings. It's about seeing AI as an enabler for revenue growth, for creating entirely new products or services, and critically, for enhancing the overall employee experience.
Happier, more productive employees.
Exactly. Which, while maybe harder to quantify in immediate dollar terms, is equally vital for long-term success and competitive advantage. It's about transforming the business, not just trimming the budget.
Okay, so despite all these economic cautions, the potential bubble talk, the immense costs, there's clearly still this deep underlying belief in AI's transformative power. A sense that we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely. The potential is undeniable.
So what are the true potentials that our sources highlight? Where is AI actually delivering tangible value right now, or at least showing immense, game-changing promise beyond the hype?
What's truly fascinating here is the sheer breadth and depth of opportunities AI presents, even in its current state. It's not just one thing.
Right.
Our sources emphasize that AI, particularly large language models, LLMs, offers numerous very practical ways to profoundly optimize existing work processes across almost every sector.
Optimize how?
We're talking about automating routine requests that bog down human employees, generating comprehensive summaries of vast amounts of complex information in mere seconds.
That alone sounds becomes useful.
And critically, supporting strategic decision-making in businesses and government agencies by providing nuanced insights that would take human teams far, far longer to uncover.
So freeing up human brain power.
Essentially, yes.
Oh.
These aren't trivial improvements. They represent fundamental shifts in how work gets done.
Those sound like really practical, impactful applications, far beyond just, generating text or simple chatbots, which I think is what many people still associate with LLMs.
They absolutely are. The most widespread applications today are still found in sophisticated chatbots and personal assistant systems, which have evolved tremendously.
They've gotten much better.
They have. They're prized for high accessibility, user-friendliness, enabling comprehensive information delivery. They're almost ubiquitous now in customer service, internal knowledge management.
It's true.
But the real game changer is beyond that. LLM systems are becoming increasingly agentic.
Agentic, what does that mean?
It means they can independently execute complex tasks, combine information from disparate sources, generate nuanced recommendations, or even make decisions within predefined parameters.
So they do things, not just answer questions.
Exactly. Think of it less like a powerful chatbot answering questions and more like a highly capable, autonomous project manager for a specific domain.
Okay, give me an example.
An agentic LLM in finance, for instance, wouldn't just answer questions about market trends. It could proactively analyze vast data sets, identify emerging risks across different markets, suggest a portfolio reallocation strategy based on your goals, and maybe even initiate trade orders.
Whoa.
All within strict, predefined parameters and, crucially, with human oversight. It's AI moving from being a static tool to a dynamic, proactive participant in operations.
That's a powerful distinction, moving from answering to actively doing. So where can we see some of these best practice examples in action? Where is this agentic value-generating AI making a real, measurable difference right now?
We have some excellent concrete illustrations from the sources. In financial services, for example, specialized AI services are truly unlocking a gold mine.
A gold mine of what?
Valuable information that has historically been trapped, almost inaccessible, in dense contracts, complex legal documents, arcane PDF files, vast spreadsheets.
Right, stuff that's hard for humans to process quickly.
Exactly. This data is incredibly rich for market analysis, but traditionally it's been painstakingly difficult and time-consuming for human analysts to process.
Okay.
Charlie AI, a company explicitly mentioned in our materials, boasts an incredible capability. It can achieve in just 30 minutes what a human analyst might take 80 hours to accomplish.
30 minutes versus 80 hours.
Making sense of vast, unstructured amounts of financial data.
That's transformative.
And this isn't about replacing analysts entirely. It's about freeing them up for higher value tasks, strategic analysis, deep client engagement, creative problem solving, effectively acting as automated analysts for Wall Street.
Augmenting humans, not replacing them.
That's the idea. It's a profound shift in productivity and focus.
That's an incredible efficiency gain. Are there other areas where AI is truly making such a demonstrable difference right now?
Absolutely. Motorola, for instance, they've developed a comprehensive internal framework just to meticulously track the hours saved by its generative AI deployments across various tasks within the organization.
Quantifying the benefit.
Showcasing quantifiable real-world efficiency boosts. Another standout example, that Swedish fintech company, Klarna. We mentioned their calculation that their generative AI's output is equivalent to 700 customer service agents.
Still staggering.
And this isn't hypothetical, it's a direct, measurable impact on their operational efficiency and customer support capabilities. It lets them scale service without proportionally scaling human headcount.
Makes sense. What about other fields like security?
Ah, yes.
Oh.
In the critical realm of cybersecurity, companies are rapidly leveraging AI for things like automated vulnerability scanning, conducting rapid and comprehensive risk assessments.
Finding weaknesses faster.
Much faster. And drastically improving threat detection speeds and accuracy, enabling proactive threat hunting, finding the bad guys before they strike. This allows them to address threats at a machine scale and speed that no human team, however large or skilled, could possibly match, which is absolutely crucial for defending against increasingly sophisticated digital attacks.
It sounds like AI is becoming pretty indispensable for defending against these constantly evolving, sophisticated digital threats.
It really is.
But it's not just about defense or cost-cutting, is it? Is AI also enabling entirely new frontiers for innovation, for maybe human work satisfaction?
That's a crucial distinction, yes. While cost savings and efficiency are compelling, the real long-term potential lies beyond just that.
How so?
AI also profoundly allows data scientists and researchers to explore new ideas, expand into entirely new product categories, really accelerating innovation in ways previously unimaginable.
Disaster R&D.
Significantly. And critically, the automation of routine, often tedious tasks by AI co-pilots can significantly alleviate workloads, reduce burnout, and enhance job satisfaction for employees.
Getting rid of the boring stuff.
Exactly. This frees up human talent to dedicate more time to creative, strategic, and truly innovative projects that require uniquely human skills, empathy, complex reasoning, ethical judgment.
The stuff AI can't do well yet.
Precisely. So the focus shifts from just cost savings to enabling revenue growth, fostering innovation, and creating a more dynamic, engaging, and fulfilling work environment overall.
Empowering humans to do more of what they're best at, not just replacing them.
That's the ideal, yes.
So it's not simply about automating what we already do, but truly enabling entirely new possibilities, new products, and better, more engaging ways of working for humans.
Precisely. However, and this is a critical caveat that our sources consistently emphasize.
There's always a but.
There often is. These immense potentials hinge entirely on strong foundations. As Kevin Collins, the CEO of Charlie AI, wisely points out, AI is a science and a tool. You still have to do all of the hard work around data governance and figuring out the right application of these tools.
So the basics still matter. A lot.
Absolutely. Data quality, a robust and scalable infrastructure, and crucially, data liquidity.
Data liquidity.
Yeah, the seamless ability to access, combine, and analyze data from various disparate sources across an organization. It needs to flow easily.
Got it. Breaking down silos.
Exactly. These things are paramount. Without these foundational elements, organizations will struggle. They won't collect the right data. They might feed their AI models poor quality inputs.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely. And they'll ultimately fail to derive meaningful, reliable, or valuable insights, no matter how powerful or sophisticated the AI models themselves might be.
So it all comes back to rigorous data management and a clear problem-focused strategy, not just buying the tech.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, we've looked at the economic and business side of AI, the potential, the costs, the applications, but we absolutely cannot ignore its rapidly evolving impact on security and global stability.
A crucial dimension.
The sources are quite stark here. Are drones and AI not fundamentally changing the ways wars are being fought today? And how does AI factor into this, frankly, terrifying new landscape of hybrid threats?
This raises one of the most pressing, maybe unsettling questions of our time, and our sources confirm unequivocally. Drones and other advanced technologies, many of them AI-driven. Yes, they are profoundly reshaping conflict.
How so?
Particularly in this realm of what we call hybrid threats.
Okay, define hybrid threats for us.
Right. These are diverse, often clandestine attack forms. They're skillfully employed by both state and non-state actors.
So governments and other groups?
Yes. With the overarching aim to destabilize societies, undermine national security, cause economic damage, and exert political influence.
Okay.
What makes them so insidious is how they deliberately blur the lines between traditional states of peace and war.
Gray zone warfare.
Exactly, making attribution incredibly difficult, making the response complex, protracted, uncertain. It's a calculated, multifaceted mix of conventional and unconventional methods, designed to create maximum damage, fear, and uncertainty, often without triggering a clear conventional military response.
So it's a mix of methods designed to create maximum damage and uncertainty, often leaving the target unsure of who exactly is attacking them or why. It's sneaky.
Exactly. Insidious is a good word. The documents identify 12 different attack vectors that fall under this hybrid threat umbrella.
Oh.
And drones are undeniably at the forefront of several of these. We've seen a dramatic escalation in recent years.
How dramatic?
For instance, since 2022, Germany has experienced a significant and alarming increase in hybrid attacks. Drone overflights in particular have sharply risen since the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Okay.
Our sources state they've exceeded 500 incidents in a relatively short period, with a staggering 446 of these reported over Bundeswehr, the German armed forces locations in 2023 alone.
446 over military sites. In 1 year.
To put that in perspective, that's a massive leap from just 9 such incidents reported back in 2021.
Wow. That's not sporadic. That's a pattern.
It's a persistent, growing, and strategically concerning pattern of intrusions, yes.
Over 500 incidents total. Nearly 450 over military installations. That's truly staggering. What kind of drones are we talking about here? Little toys? Military hardware?
They vary widely in sophistication and size. That's part of the challenge. Our sources mention everything from potentially large military-grade drones, which could be controlled from distant vessels out in the North and Baltic Seas, suggesting significant capabilities in range, wingspan, speed,
Just with hardware.
all the way down to smaller, commercially available everyman drones, like quadricopters, things you or I could potentially buy, operated by individuals on the ground with relative ease and anonymity.
Right, the off-the-shelf kind.
And these are deployed for a whole spectrum of malicious purposes. Targeted reconnaissance and surveillance, obviously, gathering intelligence, but also, disturbingly, for direct sabotage acts.
Actual physical damage.
Potentially, yes. The motives behind these overflights seem multifaceted, ranging from straightforward military intelligence gathering to subtly testing the reactions, the response times, the standard operating procedures of authorities, the military, critical infrastructure operators.
Seeing how people react. Probing defensive.
Exactly. And the ambiguity surrounding the drone's origins and intentions makes them particularly effective as a psychological tool in this hybrid warfare. Creates uncertainty.
And beyond just the physical or data gathering aspect, the psychological impact. Having these things buzzing overhead, unexplained, it must be immense on decision makers, on the public.
You've hit on a key element. The deliberate uncertainty surrounding the perpetrator and their precise intentions is designed to create deep insecurity, to erode trust.
Fear of the unknown.
When people don't know who is watching or what they intend to do, it fosters a profound sense of vulnerability. And the perceived lack of immediate effective countermeasures against these persistent drone overflights that further contributes to this psychological damage.
Be feeling helpless.
It amplifies feelings of helplessness and insecurity when these incidents occur with unclear origin and intent. This psychological dimension is just as vital to the hybrid warfare playbook as any physical damage inflicted.
Beyond aerial drones, our sources also mentioned an even more covert, unseen threat. Underwater drones. What's the situation there? Why are they so concerning?
The information on underwater drones is indeed even less documented, which adds another insidious layer of covertness, right? Makes them particularly difficult to detect and attribute.
Even harder to spot than flying one.
Exactly. However, our sources confirm they are notably employed by both Ukraine and Russia for kamikaze attacks, for espionage operations in the Black Sea.
Okay, so they're being used in active conflicts.
Yes. And the threat extends far beyond that theater. Investigations have revealed over 400 journeys by suspicious Russian spy ships in the North and Baltic Seas.
400.
60 of these occurring specifically in German waters. These vessels were observed carrying specialized equipment for deploying and retrieving underwater drones.
Ah, the motherships.
Strongly suggesting their use for sabotage against critical maritime infrastructure, particularly those vital underwater communication cables.
Cutting off the internet, communication.
Potentially huge disruption. And the capabilities are advancing rapidly. For example, the Chinese military is known to possess highly advanced, sabotage-capable underwater drones that can operate at impressive depths up to 4,000 meters.
4 kilometers down, that's deep.
It highlights the global sophistication of this emerging domain of warfare. It's not just science fiction anymore.
So drones, both aerial and underwater, are not just reconnaissance tools. They're active weapons for espionage and sabotage. What about other kinetic or physical attacks mentioned in the sources, particularly against critical infrastructure?
Indeed. Drones are part of a broader spectrum here. Sabotage against data cables and other maritime critical infrastructure is alarmingly frequent, according to the sources.
How is it done?
Often carried out by ostensibly civilian ships using seemingly innocuous methods like anchor dragging, which can accidentally on purpose sever underwater cables.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly. Or, as we just discussed, by highly covert underwater drones. Russian shadow fleets vessels operating outside normal maritime tracking going dark, and Chinese vessels have been implicated in such incidents.
Any specific examples?
A striking one from our sources. A Chinese ship was seized in the Baltic Sea in November 2024 near 2 damaged cable connections after operating with its tracking system deliberately switched off and its anchor down.
Pretty suspicious circumstances.
Highly. Another significant non-drone-related threat is GPS and ILS spoofing.
Spoofing.
Yeah.
Faking the signals.
Yes. ILS is the instrument landing system for aircraft. Spoofing involves intentionally jamming or falsifying global positioning and navigation signals. This can severely affect air and sea traffic.
That sounds dangerous.
It can lead to dangerous disruptions in vital logistical operations, even risking accidents. We've seen targeted GPS jamming, for instance, against Hamburg Port in early 2025, underscores the direct economic and safety impacts.
And cyber attacks, how are they evolving in this hybrid threat landscape? Especially with the capabilities AI brings to the table. Can AI make cyber attacks worse?
Oh, certainly. AI can automate attack generation, find vulnerabilities faster. It cuts both ways. Cyber attacks remain a cornerstone of hybrid warfare anyway because they're frequent, they can be launched remotely, and they're notoriously difficult to attribute definitively.
Ideal for deniable aggression.
Precisely. They encompass a wide array of tactics, things like computer network exploitation, CNE basically gaining unauthorized access for espionage, data theft, system control.
Spying again.
Yes. But more critically, we're seeing sophisticated attacks targeting industrial control systems, ICS, operational technology, OT, or cyber-physical systems, CPS.
The systems that run physical infrastructure.
Exactly. The digital brains behind critical infrastructure, power plants, water supplies, transportation networks. An attack here can have devastating real-world consequences.
Like turning off the power grid.
That's the nightmare scenario. A prime historical example is the NotPetya ransomware attack in 2017, widely attributed to Russian military intelligence.
I remember that one.
It initially targeted Ukrainian critical infrastructure, but rapidly spread globally, caused hundreds of millions, maybe billions in damages to companies worldwide. It showed how quickly these attacks can escalate beyond their initial target and have far-reaching economic consequences.
This is a global impact from a regional attack.
And China, too, has openly admitted to conducting cyber attacks on U.S. critical infrastructure. Shows this is a global tactic employed by major state actors.
And what about the more widespread, maybe lower threshold cyber attacks, like DDoS, distributed denial of service attacks? They seem to constantly make headlines.
They do. DDoS attacks basically overwhelming IT systems with a flood of junk traffic to render them unavailable have indeed become a staple of particularly Russian hybrid warfare tactics.
Just knocking websites offline.
Or critical services. They've been systematically used against crucial civilian infrastructure, like the Ukrainian railway ticketing system, and closer to home for our listeners in Germany, against airports, hospitals, municipal administrations.
Disrupting daily life.
Often as clear acts of retaliation for Western support for Ukraine. Hacker groups like Killnet and No Name are prominent in these coordinated activities.
They claim responsibility.
Often, yes. Additionally, ransomware attacks aren't just used for financial gain anymore. They are frequently deployed by groups openly or covertly aligned with state actors simply to cripple systems, sow chaos, and inflict economic and operational damage. It adds another pervasive layer of disruption.
So the dangers for the European and German ecosystems in particular are very real, multifaceted, and alarmingly ongoing. It sounds like a constant battle.
It is.
Given this complex array of threats, how are they trying to counter these increasingly sophisticated hybrid attacks? What's the defense strategy?
Countering these threats requires a multi-layered, highly integrated approach. It's not just one magic bullet.
Makes sense.
For AI systems specifically, one source document, Design Principles for LLM-based Systems with Zero Trust Foundation, outlines a robust framework.
Zero trust. What's that?
It's a core cybersecurity principle. Basically means you never implicitly trust any user or system component, regardless of whether they're inside or outside your network. You continuously verify every access attempt, maintain least privilege access.
Trust no one, verify everything.
Essentially, yes. This framework applies traditional security measures, stringent authentication, authorization, rigorous input-output restrictions, sandboxing system components to isolate threats, continuous monitoring for anomalies, real-time threat intelligence.
Standard security practices.
But all extended with AI-specific controls to deal with things like evasion attacks, poisoning attacks on the training data, privacy attacks trying to extract sensitive information.
New attacks need new defenses.
Exactly. The goal is to minimize misuse, prevent data exfiltration, avoid system malfunctions, especially given the increasingly agentic nature of advanced LLMs we talked about. You need guardrails. And for drones, the physical threat.
The countermeasures there are also evolving rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
They range from aggressive hard kill measures, shooting them down.
Basically. Things like laser weapons, electromagnetic pulses, EMPs that can fry electronics, kinetic interception using other drones or projectiles.
Okay.
Alongside these are soft kill methods, seeking to disrupt without destruction, like jamming communication or navigation signals, spoofing signals to take control of or disorient the drone.
Forcing it to land or go off course.
Right. And resiliency measures are also critical. Physical protection for vital sites, camouflage, advanced electromagnetic shielding, robust organizational plans for rapid response and recovery if an attack does get through.
Preparing for the worst.
Critically, all of these defense measures require very early and accurate detection capabilities, knowing the drone is there in the first place. Up-to-date information on evolving drone technology, and often there are legal restrictions on who can implement these measures.
So you need cooperation.
Close, seamless cooperation with authorities like the Bundeswehr or the police is absolutely essential. It's a team effort.
It sounds like it's not just about technology, though. It heavily emphasizes the human element, human judgment, in this incredibly complex defense landscape, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. In fact, awareness is highlighted in the sources as a foundational security strategy.
Awareness.
Yes. No amount of technology can fully compensate for a lack of human vigilance. Well-trained stakeholders, everyone from IT professionals to frontline personnel, are absolutely essential to effectively handle security protocols, recognize threats, and respond appropriately.
The human firewall.
Kind of, yeah. Users need to be continually informed about proper system use, potential avenues for misuse, emerging risks, fostering a critical mindset, significantly strengthening the human-in-the-loop factor.
So training, training, training.
Practical training sessions, regular case studies of real attacks, clear and consistent security communication, actively promoting risk awareness across the whole organization.
Got it.
It reinforces the vital message. Blind trust in any LLM system is just not advisable. And crucially, fully autonomous AI operation without continuous human oversight is explicitly not recommended.
Keep humans involved.
It underscores that the human element remains paramount in any secure AI future. Our intelligence, our judgment, they're the ultimate safeguards.
Okay, given everything we've discussed, this whole mix of the exhilarating AI boom, the potential bubble, the incredible practical applications, and these critical pervasive security concerns, it all leads us to a truly crucial question. Who are the likely winners and losers of this concurrent development? All this happening at once. And what are the main dangers for major global economic ecosystems? The US, Europe, Germany, China, BRICS. If AI truly turns out to be a bubble that hits a wall, if there's a big correction.
Right. Connecting all the dots. If we look at the bigger picture, the likely winners in this evolving AI era, they're undoubtedly going to be the organizations that strategically navigate the hype.
The smart ones, not just the loud ones.
Exactly. With clear vision and robust foundations. This means prioritizing exemplary data quality from the outset, ensuring that high data liquidity, we talked about the seamless flow and analysis of data,
Right.
and consistently investing in adaptable, future-proof IT infrastructure. Companies that excel at identifying and then deploying targeted, industry-specific, or even unique AI use cases that solve real-world business problems.
Not just generic AI for AI's sake.
Precisely. Rather than just chasing general-purpose solutions, they will gain a distinct and sustainable competitive advantage. It's about solving actual problems, not just acquiring the latest shiny tech.
So it's not necessarily about being the first mover, but about being the smart, strategic, and secure mover.
Exactly. And forming strategic partnerships with specialized AI vendors is also critical. Very few companies, outside the absolute giants, possess the resources or expertise to build everything from scratch.
Makes sense. Leverage the ecosystem.
As one report explicitly states, the companies that don't put the AI cart before the business problem horse are going to be better positioned.
Love that phrase. Focus on the problem first.
It underlines that AI is a powerful tool, yes, but its true value comes from how effectively it's applied to specific, clearly defined business needs. Vision and disciplined execution trump raw spending.
Okay. And on the flip side, what about the potential losers in this rapidly changing scenario, especially if that bubble were to burst?
The losers are likely to be firms with weak fundamentals, little to no proven path to profitability, those that have been swept up in speculative investment without truly delivering real economic value.
The ones built on hype.
Pretty much. Small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs in particular, face those significant budgetary constraints we mentioned. That can severely impede their speed and scale of AI deployment.
Squeeze middle again.
Creating that challenging squeezed middle that struggles to compete effectively against larger, better-resourced players. And organizations struggling with fragmented, outdated legacy IT infrastructure, poor data quality, or an over-reliance on manual data processes, they'll also fall significantly behind.
Can't build on shaky foundations.
They leave vast amounts of valuable data untapped, severely limiting AI's potential to transform their operations. They simply lack the foundational elements required to leverage AI effectively, making them highly vulnerable in any downturn.
You mentioned specific dangers for major global ecosystems, the US, Europe, Germany, maybe China breaks if AI were to hit that wall. Let's delve into that. Starting with the US, it seems heavily invested.
This is where the macro implications become very stark, yes. If the AI boom turns into a bubble that eventually bursts, the immediate danger across all these economies is a significant shakeout of companies.
Yes, failures.
Leading to potentially widespread job losses, investment capital evaporating, and maybe a broader economic contraction, particularly in the tech sector. For the U.S. ecosystem, it's high venture capital funding, that 64% going to AI startups in 2025 alone, suggests considerable exposure to this risk.
They have a lot riding on it.
A sudden market correction could trigger widespread financial repercussions, given the interconnectedness of its financial markets. However, it's not entirely without mitigation strategies.
Oh, what are they doing?
The U.S. is also implementing proactive measures, like President Biden's executive order on AI security and safety. It aims to develop AI tools to find and fix vulnerabilities in critical software.
Using AI to secure AI.
In part, yes. It indicates a growing awareness of systemic risk and a strategic approach to developing resilience, which could certainly mitigate some of the fallout from a bubble burst. They're not just ignoring the risk.
Okay. What about Europe and Germany specifically? Our sources painted a quite detailed and, frankly, somewhat concerning picture of their current digital state.
Yeah, for the European and German ecosystems, the dangers are particularly multifaceted. It's a combination of internal digital weaknesses and acute external threats.
A double whammy.
Kind of. Internally, Germany's Digitalization Index 2024, while showing some overall progress, highlights several critical vulnerabilities.
Like what?
For instance, the crucial category of qualification training and skills in digitalization professions actually remains below its 2020 baseline.
Below 2020, so going backwards on skills.
It indicates a persistent, widening skills gap that will directly hinder AI adoption and innovation. Furthermore, the innovations landscape is deteriorating. Fewer scientific publications, less R&D cooperation.
Not great signs for future tech leadership.
And Germany lags significantly behind the EU average in public online services and, astonishingly, in fiber optic broadband coverage. Only 32% of households having fiber compared to an EU average of 64% in 2023.
Only a third have high-speed fiber.
Wow. These are fundamental foundational weaknesses. They could severely hinder Germany's ability to competitively adopt, develop, and leverage AI, leaving it highly vulnerable if other regions outpace it, especially if there's an economic downturn in the AI sector. They simply lack the digital bedrock in some key areas.
So even if AI doesn't completely fizzle out globally, these internal structural issues, the skills gap, the infrastructure gap, they could put Germany and maybe parts of the EU at a severe disadvantage, creating a significant innovation gap.
Absolutely. And the internal issues just exacerbate the external pressures.
The hybrid threats.
Exactly. Both Europe and Germany face acute dangers from those hybrid threats we discussed. State-sponsored cyber attacks, pervasive espionage, deliberate sabotage against critical infrastructure, sophisticated disinformation campaigns.
All that nasty stuff.
These attacks, often using advanced tech like drones and AI-powered cyber tools, specifically target the very critical infrastructure that underpins a modern economy.
Go for the neck points.
If an AI bubble burst were to weaken the economy, reducing investment, creating instability, it could exacerbate these existing security vulnerabilities, making recovery and building resilience even harder.
A downward spiral.
And the EU AI Act, while it's a comprehensive regulatory framework aiming for trustworthy AI, it also introduces significant compliance challenges. Businesses have to navigate that, which could be an additional burden for those already struggling with digital transformation and economic pressures. It's a very complex, quite precarious balancing act for them.
It really sounds like it. And finally, for the Chinese ecosystem or the broader BRICS economies,
Right.
what did the sources tell us about their position in this high-stakes game?
Our sources indicate that the Chinese military, for example, possesses highly advanced capabilities, like those sabotage-capable underwater drones we discussed, reflects a substantial strategic investment in advanced technologies for geopolitical influence.
They're taking it seriously.
China has also, as mentioned, openly admitted to conducting cyber attacks on U.S. critical infrastructure, demonstrating both capability and a willingness to use these tools aggressively.
Okay. What about internal risks, like a bubble?
While the sources don't detail internal AI bubble risks or specific vulnerabilities for the broader BRICS economies in the same granular way as for Germany, the general principle still applies, that shakeout of companies unable to deliver real economic value.
It's a universal risk.
Absolutely. Any economy, regardless of its political system, that is heavily invested in AI without robust, proven pathways to profitability would face significant disruption if the market corrected sharply.
Makes sense.
Their exposure would ultimately depend on the proportion of speculative, unproven investment within their AI sector versus tangible, value-generating applications that are already integrated into their real economy. It's a universal economic truth, really. How much is real? How much is froth? Hashtag tag outro.
Wow. Okay. That was a truly comprehensive deep dive, wasn't it? Into the incredibly complex, often contradictory world of artificial intelligence.
It covers a lot of ground.
We've gone from the soaring ambitions and the very real debate about an AI bubble, that whole AI psychosis question, to the incredible practical applications delivering concrete value, and, crucially, the profound security implications playing out right now on a geopolitical scale.
Indeed. We've seen that while the enthusiasm for AI is palpable, often warranted, the reality of enterprise-wide AI deployment faces significant hurdles.
Data quality, liquidity.
Exactly, to overcoming immense costs and talent gaps. Yet the transformative potential for optimizing processes, enabling entirely new products, enhancing cybersecurity, it's undeniable.
Right, the Klarna and Charlie AI examples.
With concrete examples like Charlie AI's automated financial analysis and Klarna's customer service efficiency showcasing real, measurable value that does extend beyond mere hype. It's not all hype.
And the evolving nature of warfare, particularly with the proliferation of drones and these pervasive, insidious hybrid threats to critical infrastructure across Europe, Germany, globally. It starkly underscores that AI isn't just a commercial or a scientific pursuit anymore.
No, it's absolutely a matter of national and international security now.
We also heard about the distinct structural challenges faced by different economies, especially Germany, in building the necessary digital foundations, the infrastructure, the skills, to truly thrive in this AI-powered future.
It becomes abundantly clear, doesn't it? The path forward requires not blind trust in the technology.
Definitely not.
But rather a profoundly balanced approach. Aggressive innovation tempered by stringent security, a keen awareness of the inherent risks, and a deep commitment to robust digital infrastructure and, critically, continuous human oversight.
Humans in the loop. Always.
That comparison to the dot-com era serves as a potent reminder, I think.
Yeah.
While hype cycles come and go, foundational technology, when it's properly understood, strategically invested in, and responsibly managed, it possesses an enduring power to reshape our world for generations.
So, as you, our listeners, go about your day, maybe you interact with an AI chatbot or see news about new drone technology, or even just wonder about the next big tech startup. Consider this. How will you contribute? How can we all contribute to building a future where the incredible potential of AI is harnessed responsibly, securely, and for true, lasting value, rather than just becoming another casualty of short-term speculation?
A powerful question to leave people with.
It's something for all of us to ponder as we continue this deep dive into the future. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.